does not. Oh my god. Does not look right. That's quite a bit better. Okay, so probably should have gotten the game started before I went live, but that's alright. Today we are playing Diablo 3 again. Still didn't get my camera mount. I actually ordered a new one because I'm having some problems with Amazon. So hopefully by tomorrow we'll be playing Paper Mario. But for tonight we're going to continue with my Barbarian in Diablo 3 Eternal Collection. We're just running around adventure mode. I think I'll actually do some Nephilim rifts tonight, which for those unfamiliar, Nephilim rifts is basically just run around and kill things. It's like bounties, but with even less structure. It's just, hey, here's a bunch of random areas, go slap things and kill them, which is a good time. So I did raise the difficulty by 1 after we ended the stream last night to expert. I think it's on now. Because I got this legendary bracer that turns my active skill, or they're all active I guess, my secondary skill, I think the tree is called, into just a juggernaut. This
Not
thing.
enough fury.
Oh, well, I can't show you. I don't have enough fury. Sorry. But this thing, what's it called? Hammer of the Ancients. Just absolutely destroys things now because I have this bracer that's Hammer of the Ancients attacks 50% faster and deals 477% increased damage as its effect. Definitely makes that skill absolutely wreck. And then I switched to something really slow last night, right when we stopped. I haven't experimented with it at all. I might change it back to dual wielding. We'll see. But for now, I'm gonna tackle a Nephilim Rift. My phone is harassing me. That all looks right.
Enemies of the Nephilim surround.
So, yeah, as you can see on the screen there, it's literally just, here's how many monsters you need to kill. And, or, well, not even a number, it's just this bar that fills up with experience. And when you kill enough, a big boss pops up, you kill the big boss, and then you're done. That's literally just, hey, you know what's fun in Diablo? Smacking things. Let's just let people smack things without any, like, overarching structure really to it. So it's definitely a fun thing to do for a couple hours. I am glad. Some people would say, like, oh, Diablo games don't even need, like, story. Just throw me in the dungeon and let me kill things. But I'm glad there's a story mode for a structured first playthrough, if nothing else. Oh my god. Even raising the difficulty 1, I still just rip this stuff apart. I'm actually kind of liking this new slow weapon. It's not half bad. Those boots actually look good. Those look like crap. Where are my boots? Vitality. Oh yeah, I don't want intelligence, so that's good. Oh no, don't roar. Oh, hello, sir. Goodbye, sir. What happened here? No, good. Little orb things drop from the elite mobs, and they give you a little bit more experience. That way killing elites doesn't feel like a useless affair, especially if it takes you a while, which it's not taking me a while right now. I kind of feel like I should even move the difficulty up again, but then as soon as I out-level this bracer, I'm gonna find myself in trouble. I got a bunch of stuff I gotta look at in skills now. Let me know if my audio is bad, as usual, of course. Too loud or too quiet. Or if it's perfect, tell me that. That makes me feel good. I'll take that. Ooh, that's good. So obviously all the stats are amazing. When 3 or more enemies are within 12 yards, you release a vile stench. Oh, I just crap my pants. Okay, interesting. That deals 463% weapon damage as poison every second for 5 seconds. Okay. So that's pretty good. Let's see what I got in skills. So I got a new Rend rune. Heal for 0.5% of your maximum life per second for each affected enemy. That's very good for survivability. I'll at least check it out for a second, but with my bracers, there's no way I'm abandoning that hammer of the ancients. Revenge. Increase healing to 6% of maximum life per enemy hit. Let's go and check that out. Oh, and then I got an ultimate skill. Earthquake, or rage skill, I guess they're called, whatever. Shake the ground violently, dealing 4,800% weapon damage as fire over 8 seconds to all enemies within 18 yards. Sounds pretty nice. Oh my goodness, even the Rend is kind of ripping them apart. I'm definitely going to change it back, but I want to see how impactful this healing is if I get into a big mob here. Ugh, that damage is so slow. Yeah. If I'm having trouble living later, maybe I can switch back, but... What was this one again? Seismic Slam. Oh, okay, costs less, and it turns into lightning damage. Let's get back to my Hammer of the Ancients. Let's try Smash. I haven't tried Smash. Lower range, but higher damage is basically the trade-off. Oh, that's right. The reason I don't like Revenge is because you have to, like, wait and see if you get stacks of it, because it's just a percentage chance each time you take damage. Kind of annoying, compared to knowing that you always have, or not always, because you still has the cooldown, the other one, the Overpower, but you have it more often, that's for sure. Man, I am just ripping these fools apart. Do I have something on that's giving me Fury every time I kill an enemy or something? Or do I gain Fury, period, when I kill an enemy? Is that a part of being this class? Because I feel like I'm killing enemies with my... God, I get an Ancient Hammer? Hammer of the Ancients. And then it seems like I'm just not losing any Fury. Oh, that's an enemy. Oh. Just realized I didn't put my hat on. Oh, that looks much better. Especially with that rune. I was at like half health and that was a full heal, and I think I only hit like 2 enemies. That doesn't make sense, but I saw what I saw. So, if I remember correctly, you cannot raise difficulty again. Can lower it. What? I'm not even on expert, I'm back on hard. Well, that explains why enemies are still melting like goo. After this rift, I'll quit out and change it back. Must not have saved the settings I did after I stopped last night. Oh, that's just leading back to where it was. Oh yeah, still haven't used my earthquake. I should do that. Yeah, let's gather these guys around. Earthquake! Oh, that's beautiful. Just really wrecking some dudes here with that earthquake. That is awesome. Oh, I leveled up again already, Jesus. New active skill, Whirlwind. Passive skill, Inspiring Presence. And I got a new passive slot as well. Passive skill, Berserker Rage. Okay, let's take a look. Let's take a look at inventory real quick too. Nothing there. That's garbage. Nothing there. Okay. So, Whirlwind. Deliver multiple attacks to everything in your path for 340% weapon damage. And it only costs 10 Fury. That's interesting. 10 Fury does decent damage. Let's give it a shot. Everything else was passives, right? I didn't get any runes or other new skills. You deal 25% additional damage while near maximum fury. What does near maximum fury mean exactly? The duration of your shouts is doubled. After using a shout, you and all allies within 100 yards regenerate 3% of your maximum life per second for 120 seconds. Wait, 3% of your maximum life per second for 120 seconds. What's the cooldown on that? 3%. Because that's a lot of healing. I guess I'll go ahead and equip that. Because if I can just shout and heal a bunch, that sounds great. Although shouts are, it seems like, shouts are in tactics, right? Yeah. Seems like shouts are basically the same as the Necromancer's curses, which I never used because I would rather just have another damage skill on there. But I haven't really messed around with changing, like doubling up on other categories for this class yet. Maybe I should though. Having Overpower and Revenge on probably better than having Threatening Shout maybe, but I don't know. I'll try out that Shout passive. I just came from there. I'm curious what that near maximum fury means on that skill that gives you extra power when you're near maximum. Oh, that's kind of cool. You just you seriously just like rip through hordes. Get out of my way. That's actually pretty neat. I'm gonna change it back for right now because I have that insane bracer that's giving an extra damage, but that is very cool. I like that skill a lot. Only skill I've gotten on there that I didn't really like was the second one. What was it called? Rend. I don't really like. I'm sure if I had a lot of viewers in here, every single one of them would come and tell me, oh no, actually Ren's the best one for this reason and that reason. It's always like that, you know? You don't like a skill, turns out it's the best one, every time. Oh, I gotta grab that. Get out of here. Oh, I forgot I gotta kill all these little worms that come out when those guys explode. I gotta remember to do this. Earthquake! That is a 60-second cooldown, so I don't want to use it all the time. When I say I don't want to use it all the time, I mean I can't use it all the time. If I could spam it, you know I'd be spamming.
Still recharging.
Yeah, give me all that sweet loot. I really want to actually take a lot of damage here, so I can use my shout. In fact, maybe I should just stand here and take damage. I don't know, my passive healing is out healing the damage these guys are doing. But I want to take a lot of damage and see if that shout passive is really doing work the way that I hope it is.
Not ready yet.
Level 21. Furious Charge. Leap Rune. Oh, lightning. I love getting the lightning pylons. Mighty Throw. Just run through into the environment and everything just dies around you. It's hilarious. Let me know too in the chat if you can hear when my phone vibrates like that on the table. So if you can, it kind of kills the whole purpose of turning it to vibrate. Maybe I'll just turn it on silent. Oh, I gotta look at those skills. What am I doing? I'm already halfway to the next level. I didn't even look at the skills. Let's see. Weapon Throw, Mighty Throw increases thrown weapon damage to 400%. Weapon damage is lightning. Okay. Leap. Launch. You leap with such great force that enemies within 10 yards of the takeoff point. Oh, the takeoff point. Take 180% weapon damage and are slowed. Oh, so you do it at the takeoff point and the destination point, the damage. And then you also slow at the takeoff point. Let's check it out at least. Furious Charge. Rush forward, knocking back enemies and dealing 600% weapon damage to enemies along the path. You gain a charge every 10 seconds. You can have up to one charge, only one charge stored at a time. But so all the might skills have charges, right? Critical hits have a chance to reduce the cooldown. It's weird, Overpower doesn't even tell you that you get 3 charges of it. Very weird. Okay, well let's try a Furious Charge. I'm not opposed to that. Is that the same symbol as sprint though? It's kind of odd. Oh no, he's facing the other way. Oh. Oh, and the color is different. Okay, I see. Oh, what am I doing? So, what is that? Oh. I like the look of that, if nothing else. Oh, that's right, I have the weapon throw on. I forgot I put that on. Want to stay back and try that a little bit. I mean, everything else I have on is for straight up in your face melee, so I don't think it's going to work out super well. Hey, Commander Lionheart, how's it going? How'd your stream go? You conquer Ratchet and Clank yet? I know you said you'd be in it before, but you accomplished what you set out to do there. I keep forgetting I put this range skill on. I need to try to attack from range. Okay, there, I tried it. I hate it. Let's go back. Swing. Oh yeah, this was the additional fury per hit instead of the explosion. I think that's actually what I had on. Maybe that's why I was, like, always at max fury. With rage, lots of rage. Well, we're playing Barbarian, so we got lots of rage here too. Yeah, the first Ratchet and Clank's an interesting one, because I feel like going Commando and Up Your Arsenal hold up so incredibly well. And a lot of people say that first game holds up well. I disagree. I don't like that first game very much. I didn't play any of those until like the HD collection came out on PS3. And it was very hard to go back to that first one. And because I played them in order, I was like, is this what all these old games are like? Do I not want to play these? But then it turned out it was just the first one that I didn't like. Where's the Rift Guardian? Oh, there he is. Oh, good lord.
Not ready yet.
Let's just rush this guy. Pathetic. Yeah, for sure. I played all the PS3 games before I ever played any of those original three, so it was super jarring trying to play that original one. Because even like the health system is the same in every other Ratchet and Clank game, I think. And in that first game, it's like you get 5 hits or something like that, I think, by the end of the game. It's not like health based, it's just you have 5 hits and then you die. I think I want that. And LOL looks like junk. That looks like junk. I guess I'll junk all this stuff. I like my two-handed weapon here. Ooh, that looks good. I lose experience per kill. I don't mind that. Gain vitality. Lose some strength too. I think it's worth. Two-handed, yeah, not worth. I don't think. Let's garbage. Okay.
A fine black.
Yeah, just give me my experience. Okay, let's salvage all this junk. I wonder what this is. Is it worth crafting? Life and experience bonus. Ooh. Those are interesting bonuses, but I don't know if it's worth crafting, really. I have some new skills to look at here. Yeah, man, going Commando, I can't believe how good that game still is. And Up Your Arsenal is obviously even better. I think the PS3 games are even better, but I played those when I was somewhat young, so maybe that's just nostalgia talking.
I would have done the same.
Oh, whoops, what is this? Buffs you and the Enchantress, increasing armor. Buffs you and the Enchantress, reducing damage from ranged attacks. Okay, those are both kind of weird, but I'll take it. I probably should have seen if I had anything to equip to her before I sold all that crap, but... Okay, what did I get that's new? Ooh, I don't know. It's not highlighted. I hate when the game doesn't highlight your new stuff. Increases Fury generated to 6. That's new. Still don't really like that skill though. Let's see, I already had both of those. I already had that. Nothing new there. Nothing. Oh, Ignore Pain is new. Reduces all damage taken by 50% and gain immunity to all control impairing effects for 5 seconds. That seems really crazy. Seems like I might maybe want to put a couple of defensive skills on. I still haven't even tried this new leap. I do want to try that Ignore Pain at some point though. Nothing new there. Battle Rage is new. Enter a rage which increases your damage by 10% and critical hit chance by 3%. Lasts 120 seconds. Oh, it doesn't generate fury though, it costs fury instead. Still, I'll give it a shot. Seems interesting. Nothing new there. Yeah, Kraken Time. That was the first one on PS3? Or no, was that Tools of Destruction? I don't remember.
What does one say to an ancient Nephilim ghost?
I suppose.
I don't care what you have to say. Because that the second one on PS3, the second major one, I know there was like a weird downloadable one. Yeah, the second major one, A Kraken Time, I believe it was very, very good. That's probably my favorite overall. Let's just go to another rift. Start whacking some stuff again. Yeah, Tools of Destruction was my first one, and that one is also really good. Holds up really well, I assume. I guess I haven't gone back to it in the last decade, but...
I need fury.
And immediately ran into an elite horde there. Oh yeah, I always forget about All for One. I tried to play that in college with some people that used to come over and play games every once in a while, but they weren't like gamers, they didn't know much about games, and I remember just getting really frustrated one night because I was trying to make progress in the game, and they were having a blast just using there's like a gun that you can suck up your teammates with and then spit them out. They spat me into a hole so many times, and when we made it through that game night, I was just like, I'm not gonna pull this back out next time they come over. And I never finished it. And then what was the other one that was on PS4? I remember it had like a purple box, Into the Nexus, I think it was called. That one was fine. It was kind of shorter, I remember. I think it was, that might have actually been a download only one as well. I remember Into the Nexus being pretty good, but didn't live up to the like major boxed releases. Which is just very perplexing to me that Sony or Insomniac or whoever had that decision ever decided to make all these budget titles to begin with instead of just continuing to crank out games like Kraken Time. Quest for Booty was the only downloadable one. Wasn't there like a tower defense game too though that was only downloadable, or was that Quest for Booty? Okay, that was Full Frontal. Yeah, there was one that was not All for One, but a different one that I think came out on PSP that was co-op that I remember enjoying quite a bit, but it was basically just arena challenges from what I remember. It was just like, it was good dumb fun, beating the crap out of stuff, you know, but it was not a full Ratchet and Clank game. Oh, Full Frontal does have a physical? That's crazy. I don't think I've ever seen that in the wild. Yeah, Deadlock, that's the one. It was on PS2. Was it on PSP as well? I I swear I remember playing on PSP. I know obviously Secret Agent Clank is on PSP, but there was like a legit Ratchet and Clank title on PSP, I thought. I love just running into a group of dudes and using that Hammer of the Ancients. Size matters. Must be the legit one I'm thinking of, but that was not the co-op one. I don't know why I remember co-op on PSP. Just my old man brain. Giant Stride. Dust Devils. Okay, let's see what we got here. I wonder how that remake did on PS4. I assume it must have done bad, otherwise they probably would have kept going with remakes. Generate harsh tornadoes that deal 100%, 180% weapon damage. That seems fine. But I did really like that that remake on PS4 a lot too. I wish they would have just kept going, remake all of them. I mean, the first game's the only one that needed that remake though, so I don't know if I need them to remake all of them. I just want more Ratchet and Clank, is what I'm getting at here. I need Ratchet and Clank in my life. Oh, that's kind of cool. Increased dodge chance. Not that cool though. I keep forgetting to use this Furious Charge thing. Sure, let's try that. Really, it was. Why is Ratchet and Clank dead then? What in the world is going on over there? Sony, they don't know what they're doing with games, you know? Just kidding, obviously. I love everything Sony puts out. Let's see, affected enemies have their movement speed reduced. Sure, we'll try out a rune for that. 20 secondary tremors follow your movement and deal 300%. Ooh, that's interesting, so it's not all localized anymore. Oh, and I got a new passive as well. This doesn't seem to be doing much. Each point of fury spent heals you for 13 life. Alright. I mean, I guess Spider-Man was my game of the year it came out too, so that's fine. But yeah, I can't imagine that they'll get back to anything other than Spider-Man for quite some time. So I wonder if Sony would ever let another studio take a crack at Ratchet and Clank. I don't think I would mind that. Unless it turned out bad, obviously, then I would be like, why would Sony ever give this property to anybody else? It's Insomniacs only. What are you doing? But it doesn't seem like it would be too hard for them to have one of their other studios. Like maybe, I want to know what Reddy and Dawn is working on, but I feel like they could crank out a good Ratchet and Clank game. Yeah, we definitely won't get anything until PS5, but do you think they'll go back to Ratchet and Clank anytime soon, or do you think they're on the Spider-Man train for a while here? Kind of like that whirlwind. Oh my god, I just travel through all the enemies and do damage. This is awesome. Can I hold it? Okay, yeah. I don't have to keep pushing it. That's pretty cool. Yeah, I need another Ratchet game too, man. But I wonder... I kind of hope that Reddy at Dawn is getting a chance at Order 1887, because the first game I think it's the best example of a game that had a lot of potential and just missed all of it by a hair. Oh, I missed the exit portal. It didn't go far enough with any of its systems. It was a very flat game, I guess is how I would describe it. So I think they could do a lot with the sequel. I hope they get to make one. But also, if they could make a Ratchet and Clank game, that'd be cool too. These last like 2 years have been really weird in terms of game announcements, because everybody is gearing up for the next gen consoles. Why am I doing such small damage? Weird. So we're just not hearing about a lot of what a lot of studios are working on. God, that is so cool. Yeah, for sure. I just played that game for the first time, I think like a year ago? Pretty recently. And I was so impressed with the visuals, because that's a pretty early PS4 game. And it still looks, I mean, it looks about as good as I'd say Uncharted 4. Probably not quite on the level of something like Red Dead 2 or Last of Us Part 2, but I mean, it looked as good as the best looking games from 2 years ago. Or 3 years ago. 2 years ago was Red Dead, huh? Yeah, that's wrong. What year was Uncharted 4? 2016? 4 years ago? My compliments are becoming less complimentary as we go here. Yeah, PlayStation Plus is probably where I got it. I just end up racking up tons of games through PlayStation Plus, and then I'll run into a little lull in releases, and I'll be like, oh, what have I gotten from PlayStation Plus? I don't even pay attention half the time when I download them as they're releasing. They'll just sit in my library. I love just whirlwinding through all these enemies. So what is the thing that I put on overpower here? Your critical hit chance is increased for 5 seconds. If I'm using Whirlwind, I don't feel like I have any reason to use Furious Charge, because I can just go right through all the enemies. Yeah, Uncharted 4 was 2016. What is it? Oh yeah. I don't feel like I ever am in desperate need of health. I really like this whirlwind thing, even though my bracer is making my hammer. I'll probably change back to Hammer of the Ancients if I have to fight a boss. That sounds like a good plan. Let's just roll with what we got. So yeah, I still haven't used this a single time.
Still recharging. Need more time.
Level 25. Ricochet. Oh, that's off of weapon throw. So I assume it's just gonna spiral out and hit multiple enemies. Active skill, Call of the Ancients. Seismic Slam Rune. Revenge Rune. Okay, let's take a look. Okay, so weapon throw. The weapon ricochets to 3 enemies within 20 yards of each other. Kind of cool, it's like an AoE thing. I'll check it out. Increased damage is 735% as fire and knocks all enemies up into the air. Sure, let's try it. increases your critical hit chance by 8% for 6 seconds. So there's a build to be made here that I'm seeing. That's just all about boosting your critical hit chance and then decimating. But that's not what I'm really going for here. Let's stick with this. Summon the ancient barbarians Talik, Korlik, and Modok to fight alongside you for 20 seconds. Each deals 270% weapon damage per swing in addition to bonus abilities. Talik wields a sword and shield and uses Whirlwind and Leap. Korlik wields a massive polearm and uses Cleave and Furious Charge. Modok dual wields axes and uses Weapon Throw and Seismic Slam. Yeah, I'm gonna want that on. What should I take off? I always forget to use these X abilities. I feel like maybe I should take that off. I should change my lead back to Ground Stomp. I like Ground Stomp better. Can't change Seismic Slam out. So it's either my little shout here or my Overpower. Let's change Overpower out. I don't want to change my Earthquake out. I love that. Did I put on that Earthquaker? Yeah. Oh yes, I'm getting Ghost of Tsushima. I am so excited for Ghost. Ghost and The Last of Us are like the big two games these next couple months. And I could not be more hyped. I mean, it's been said a million times by a million people already, but Ghost of Tsushima looks very much like that Japanese Assassin's Creed game that we've been begging Ubisoft for forever. And I'm wrapping up. Well, I shouldn't say wrapping up. I'm like 60 hours into Odyssey, getting kind of sort of towards the end. So I'm down to hop into another Assassin's Creed-like adventure. Obviously, it's gonna be different. We don't know everything about that game yet. Just from that one 18-minute video, it looked very much like Assassin's Creed. What about you, Lionheart? You picking up Ghosts? You excited about it? I'm at a point where I don't think there's anything first-party Sony that I wouldn't at least give a shot.
Or Fury.
This weapon throw is not doing it for me. Let's get back to Cleave. And I really like this Whirlwind, so let's get back to that too.
Against my throne.
The Rift Guardian has come.
Help me, other barbarians. Just gonna dance through this guy. This is so silly looking. Oh, I love it. Excuse my snorting laugh there. Okay, time to go back.
Turning to town.
Yeah, Sucker Punch is a great studio. I don't understand what happened with the Second Son's reputation. Seems like everybody's really down on that game in the year since release, but I remember people liking it when it came out, and I certainly loved it when it came out. I haven't gotten back to it, but I thought it was great. I went back to the DLC, the first Light DLC in like 2016, and that was also amazing. So yeah, I trust Sucker Punch. There's no way. Especially with how long they've taken to make this game, there's no way they're gonna let everyone down. What is this? Oh, polearm. I don't really like polearms. Let's junk it. Just junk all that stuff. What is this? Plus strength, plus vitality. Is this better? Not really. Ditch these, ditch that. Lots of junk in here. That's junk. Junk, junk, junk. Junk. Okay, let's salvage all this garbage. skills. Duh. Battle Rage Rune. Yeah, it's the first two Infamouses I actually played Evil. I don't really know why. I was a edgy teen, and I like those Evil choices a lot. They felt good. And then the third game, I think the Evil went too evil. I think you like have to kill your brother at one point as an evil choice in that game. I don't remember specifically, but I remember feeling I started off evil and I felt evil really quickly, and I was like, I'm gonna be good. I'm a grown up now. I have to be a good guy. Increase your damage by 4% for 5 seconds after using Bash. And it stacks up to 3 times. That's kind of cool. I don't feel like it's worth getting rid of my AoE for, though. Although I guess I'm AoEing with other things. Sure. Let's try it. Ancient Spear. Throw a spear that pierces enemies and deals 500% damage. Costs 25 Fury. Let's give it a shot at least. Ignore Pain. Oh yeah, I already knew about Ignore Pain. I haven't tried it yet though. Reduce damage taken and gain immunity to crowd control. While Ignore Pain is active, gain 40% increased movement speed and knock enemies away as you run. Would that be bad with Whirlwind though? Because will it knock them away where they're not getting hit by Whirlwind? I wonder. We're gonna find out. Yeah, that's the way I am now, for sure. I think Infamous 2 might be the last game I was a bad guy in. Even like the Mass Effect games, I couldn't stand being a bad guy in. I think I did 2 playthroughs of Mass Effect 1 and 2 to do good and evil. I didn't do 2 of 3, just because I think Mass Effect 3 released around the time when there started being more games than I could ever possibly play, so multiple playthroughs of games became mostly a no-go. So I still make time for second playthroughs of some games, but I didn't have time for Renegade of Mass Effect 3. Increases damage bonus to 15%. That does not seem worthwhile. What was this on? Threatening Shout. When do I get this last skill? Level 30. It seems really early to be getting my last... Oh, you actually get all your skills really quickly on this class. All the old classes, I'm guessing, are like that. The Necromancer, I had a lot of skills I didn't get to like level 50 and 60. There's only like, what, 3 skills left here that I don't have? And you get them all by level 30? Oh no, wait, I forgot I have a tree that's not even on. Level 61, there's one in there that's ridiculously high level. Yeah, Mass Effect 3, maybe the reason why I didn't do the Renegade playthrough is because I saw the Morden dying scene. Obviously he dies either way, but when you cause his death to mean nothing, that's too much. Morden's my boy. You can't do that to him. Did I remember to talk to you? Yeah, I did. Okay.
Prove yourself worthy.
I need fury.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah, I have that spear thing on now. Oh right, that's for like if you want to make a range build with the throw weapon skill. It's kind of cool. It's not terrible. Maybe I'll check out a ranged Barbarian eventually. But not right now. Right now we're going back to Whirlwind. Yeah, man, I don't even want to think about that. I don't think I've watched that scene in like 4 or 5 years where he's just singing his little song. I don't remember the words to it. But he sings a song as he kills himself, basically. It's devastating. I think it's moments like that, honestly, that made people hate that ending so much, which I didn't really mind the ending too much. Mind you, I think I did beat that game after they patched the ending and you got like a little more context. So maybe that's why I didn't hate it, I don't know. But I think think scenes like Morden's death, which are so impactful and amazing in the worst possible way, are why people were like, this is the ending, really? It just doesn't hit that same high as the moments that come throughout that game. I need to switch back to this. Starting to love Barbarian. I don't think any class I played in, excuse me, I don't think any class I played in this game has been like, nah, I don't really like them. It's always by level 20 to 30-ish. It's like, oh yeah, this class is super cool. The lightning pylons are just hilarious. Run around and kill everything without touching it. Oh, and then a movement speed pylon to go with it. Sounds great. Let's do it.
You cannot stand before me.
Okay, let's get in here. It doesn't live up to the series legacy. It's such a weird capper. I mean, on the one hand, it's like, how do you end such a ridiculous legacy? But also, it's like, not like that. I think Uncharted 4 is the perfect example of ending such a long legacy in a way that is very fulfilling and emotional. I love that ending. Of course, very, very different kind of game than Mass Effect 3, but I'm gonna compare them anyway. Try and stop me. Oh my god, I love this.
Not enough fury.
Not enough fury. Oh.
Not ready yet.
I love just summoning this Barbarian. Oh, that was quite a while too. Yeah, but final boss fight would have been nice. I think they probably heard the feedback on Mass Effect 2's final boss fight, because that boss fight kind of blows, in my opinion, and I think in most of the internet's opinion. And they were just like, well, we won't do a boss fight then. But still, it would have been nice to get something there. Okay, let's see what we got that's new here. Ground Stomp. Enemies in the area also take 570. Oh my god, it makes it do damage? It's not 8-second cooldown anymore, but I'll give it a shot. Oh, I got the last shout. Generate 20 Fury, cooldown 20 seconds, as opposed to generate 15, cooldown 10. Unleash a rallying cry to increase armor for you and all allies by 20% within 100 yards. That's kind of interesting. I could definitely see the usefulness of that. I think just having a lower cooldown that generates Fury is probably better. Honestly, I I don't even really use that shout. I wonder, is there anything else I could switch it to that would be more useful? Maybe sprint costs fury, so not that, but maybe leap. Yeah, let's try that. Yeah, Kingdom Hearts 3 has so many, or Kingdom Hearts in general, I guess, has so many final bosses. Yeah, I don't know, there is like a weird faction of the internet that is completely against boss fights in games, period now. They think it's like an outdated concept, which, as a huge fan of From Software's games, I very much disagree. But I mean, I think in any game that's not like a story game, it's important to have boss fights, especially any game that has RPG systems where you're leveling things up. It's like, if there's no boss fights, what are you leveling stuff up for? The regular peons usually don't pose much of a challenge. Oops, that was bad. Get out of here. I'm curious, in terms of just final boss fights, Kingdom Hearts 2 or Kingdom Hearts 3? I definitely lean Kingdom Hearts 2. I think that was like, even replaying it last year, or 2 years ago, I guess now, shortly before Kingdom Hearts 3 came out, that is just one of the most hype anime moments ever. Kingdom Hearts 3 is very anime, but it was not super hype. I think part of it was Xehanort's new voice actor does not do it for me. Oh, Rift Guardians this way.
Not ready yet. More fury.
Kill him, fellow barbarians. Kill him better. Yes. Okay, dude, calm down.
I need to go back.
New goods today. Please look.
Yeah, Kingdom Hearts 2 is definitely my favorite in the series. Although Birth by Sleep is very close for me. I love that game. But it gets bogged down in that, like, board game stuff, which is like, I don't know, the board game stuff kind of fun for the first time you do it, and then it's like, hey, do it 17 more times. How does that sound? Doesn't sound good. Oh, I'm just gonna jump on that man's head. Oops. Let's see what, ooh. Rare two-handed mace. Slightly slower attack speed, but the damage is incredible. Oh, wait, is it? Oh yeah, it is two-handed. I do lose health and life per hit. Oh, life per hit. I need that. I'm gonna switch back. That's garbage. That seems better. Yes. Ooh, that seems way better. Yeah, it's just all increases. Let's do that for sure. All the rest of that is garbage. Garbage. Ah. Oh, here we go. Gain 16 life per fury spent. Ooh, I like that. It's a lot. Let's salvage all this crap. I don't need to train him. Let's repair my stuff now. Let's take on a Greater Rift. That should have a couple of keys, right? What? I'm not getting keys. Do you not get keystones until you're max level or something? Because I know I've completed a couple of rifts, which is how you're supposed to get keystones.
I am glad.
Well, whatever. Just keep doing Nephilim rifts. Oh, she has a new skill. Cast a flash of light in an area, causing enemies to be disoriented. Conjures a pool of energy that deals damage. Afflicted enemies will also take increased damage. I like that part. Oh, I don't do that.
Embrace your power, and you will survive.
Not enough fury.
Pinnacle of gameplay. Interesting. I think I actually like Kingdom Hearts 3 gameplay-wise more than 2. But I guess I haven't really thought about it. They feel very similar. But I think I give a slight edge to 3. But yeah, for sure, Birth by Sleep has got to be the best story in the series. In my humble opinion. Get out of here. All resource costs removed and cooldown greatly reduced. Oh yeah, I guess nothing costs any fury right now, so I may as well just do this everywhere, right? Wait, oh, is this where I started? Oh, smart. Very smart. Get out of here. Do I still have that same pair of bracers on? Yes. Ooh, hello. Ah. Ah. Wait, why isn't it not letting me deconstruct those, salvage them, whatever you want to call it? You know what I should do is change the skill. I love whirlwinding through a bunch of dudes, but it's starting to not do enough damage. What is this? This is new? Oh yeah, I didn't look at my new stuff last level. Crap. Each hit creates a tremor at the point of impact for 2 seconds that chills enemies by 80%. It's weird. I don't know how much I love that, but I'll try it. Okay, what else did I get that's new? Oh, I got a new earthquake rune. Create an icy path causing earthquake to freeze all enemies hit and deal cold damage. It's kind of neat. I'll try it. Then leap, nothing new. That's not new. Oh, sprint got something new, that's right. Tornadoes rage in your wake, dealing 60% weapon damage as physical for 3 seconds to nearby enemies. Kinda neat, still not worth using that. Oh, what's Furious Charge? Increase the damage to 1050%. Yeah, I'm fine with that though. Although I guess it serves the same purpose as Leap, right? Does it cost anything? Generates 15 Fury still too. Okay, I'll try that. Why not? Oh yeah, the final form in 2 is super cool. Super anime. Which, I mean, the more anime that series goes, the better it is, in my opinion. So, I can see that for sure. really did like the variety of weapon transformations in Kingdom Hearts 3 though. I remember really liking the Pirates of the Caribbean one. It was just very strange. Like, it looked weird, and I liked that. Cleaver. Oh, a new Cleaver. That sounds wonderful. Active skill, Wrath of the Berserker. Oh yeah, that's my last active skill, other than that level 61 skill. I think I got a new passive slot too, huh? Yeah. Sweet. Let's take a look at this new stuff. Cleave, Scattering Blast. On critical hits, knock enemies up into the air and deal 80% weapon damage to enemies where they land. Knock them up and then deal 80% where they land. Only on crits. That's interesting. Rather the Berserker. Oh, yeah, that's my last ultimate. Enter a Berserker Rage, which raises several attributes for 20 seconds. Critical hit chance, attack speed, dodge chance, movement speed. I feel like I don't really need this Furious Rush thing. Maybe I can just have all 3 of my rage skills on, like a real Berserker. Be mad all the time. Do I have a rune for Call of the Ancients yet? No. I feel like all I really need is my basic attack and my secondary. And then, like, even the stomp thing, don't need it 90% of the time. So why not summon barbarians and get angry, use all these high, ooh, and look badass while doing it. Just turn into Asura. That's pretty sweet. Now the problem with using these high cooldown skills is that I can't do that same thing in the next fight. Because all that stuff is on cooldown. But I can still just do this, you know. Just the basics. Gets the job done. The Kingdom of Corona Blade. Trying to remember what that one is. Man, I honestly don't even remember that one. I think I used the Pirates of the Caribbean one for like most of the game. Why am I doing this to myself? Oops, that was wasteful. I definitely need to equip a new weapon. My weapon damage is a little too low. Oh, the staff one, yeah, that one was super cool. I don't remember any of them being like a huge letdown. I don't think any of them were like, oh, this is just lame. I wish they did better. Did you play the DLC that came out for that game in January? I have not bothered going back because I read, I think it was from Kim on Game Informer, that it was not really worth it. dodged him so fast. Oh, this is cool. Oh, I love this Asuda. Which is now its canonical name. Let's earthquake these guys. Eat it. Did I even check my stuff at level 30? I didn't check my passives. That's what I forgot to check. Increases all fury generation by 10%. Increases maximum fury by 20. I do like that a lot. Reduces all non-physical damage by 20%. When you take damage from a ranged or elemental attack, you have a chance to gain 2 fury. Nah, not that great. Increases armor by 25%, thorns by 100%. I think I'm gonna go with the animosity. Oops. There's still a bunch of new stuff in here. What are these other skills I have on? That just gives slight increases for each different weapon type, which is better if you're dual wielding, I feel like. Although, actually, it's probably why I have fast attack speed here. Or no. Oh, mighty weapons, 2 extra fury per hit. That's probably coming handy. I don't want to switch that out, actually. Spending fury heals you. That seems like it's probably useful, so let's leave that on. Let's see what I have in here. Increases duration to 7 seconds. That's kind of lame. Call the Ancient's Rune. Ancients deal 540% weapon damage as fire with each attack, instead of 270%. Oh, that sounds wonderful. Double their damage. Thank you. And then anything else new? Oh, Battle Rage. Increases movement speed by 15%. No, thank you. Stick with my Earthquake. Thank you very much. I think I'm actually going to go back to Giant Stride as well. Although, I like it freezing people. I do want to change this one back from freezing, though. Or maybe not. Let's just leave it. Let's leave it. Everything's working. Oh yeah, it's that bad? It's just like boss fights or something with other characters, is what I remember reading. Oh, give me those gems. Come back here. Oh yeah. Actually, need to upgrade some gems and start slotting them. Oh no. Wait. Go. No! He's gonna get away. Come back here. Where is he? Ah! Where'd Gem Hoarder? Oh, he's over there. No! Oh, stun! Oh, he's immune. That's fine. At least he's still here. That's a lot of gems. Help me, friends. Oh, let me back in there.
Need more time.
Oh! Come back, Gem Hoarder. Yes, thank you. I need to go back and grab all those gems. Is that it? Looks like that's it. Just tried to kill my Enchantress lady. A good idea with poor execution. The story of every bad game these days, I feel like. Not that the whole game is bad, obviously. Just that DLC. Where is the exit?
I need fury.
I'm gonna transform. Asura. Patience is almost up. Come to me, brothers. Oh, good lord. Get off me. Get out of here. Go back to hell.
Not ready yet.
Yeah, I feel like I'm kind of undercutting the rotations I was talking about so much last night with all these high cooldown skills, because while I'm still just absolutely crushing all the enemies, I'm doing it with super long cooldown stuff. So the rotations are just like 3 skills. It's a lot simpler. Oh god, I'm dying for the first time in a while.
The Rift Guardian has arrived.
Come at me, boy. Just keep banging him. No, get me out of there. Oh, this guy's got frost stuff going on. Oh, summon my barbarian friends. Get him. Earthquake.
Still recharging.
Yes, eat it. But going back through it wasn't as magical. Yeah, I get that. I feel like there was so much anticipation and hype building up to that game that if you're a big fan, you probably loved it. I'd be interested in what I think going back, because I did like it a lot. Especially there's like that moment where it connects to the online game. And it's like the storm of keyblades, and you ride a keyblade around, and it shows all these usernames. I'm not sure if they're real usernames or if they're like made up, but they seem like real usernames from people in the mobile game. That was my favorite moment from that game. That was super cool. But I wonder, as a package, what I would think of it going back without all the hype and build up, you know? I need to talk to this guy.
Your trial.
Level 32. Let's see what I got. Leap rune, toppling impact. Overpower rune, crushing advance. Warcry rune, hardened wrath. That was like trash. This one-handed axe? Because that's really strong for one hand. Where'd it go? That's a two-handed axe. And then I can equip a weapon in my other hand too, and this seems pretty strong. I like the look of that. And then I can just junk all this other stuff. Is this better? Definitely slower. Has higher weapon damage though. I'll go two-handed for now. Ooh, that is so much better. Yes, please. Strength instead of vitality and life per second. No. %, lightning skill damage. Am I using lightning skills? I don't think I really am. 102 strength. 26 experience per kill. Okay, yeah. I'll keep my brace Bracers. They're legendary. Oh my god, that's just 3 experience per kill. Yeah, get that off. It's garbage. Jump these. Jump that. That seems like it's better. Don't gain life per fury spent anymore. Frenzy bonus. Oh wait. Frenzy bonus damage. Maybe I should try out Frenzy again. This would be the time. Oh, what was that thing that wasn't junked? Oh, there it is. Okay, let's salvage. It was real usernames? That's awesome. Let's go and level this guy up a few times. For shits and giggles, I guess. There you go, buddy. Have some equipment. Alright, we got some new skills. I'm going to switch to Frenzy. Increase Fury generated to 6. I probably want that. 25% chance to throw a piercing axe. Let's go with Berserk. Oh, what was the new rune for this? Oh yeah, the Ricochet, that's right. The new Leap rune increases the damage of Leap to 450% and send enemies hurtling away from where you land. Interesting. Do you want them to hurtle away though? I feel like most of his skills you want them to be gathered around. I'll see what it looks like at least. Does it look any different? Not really. Oh, I gotta wait for it to cool down now so I can switch it back. So you mentioned Trails of Cold Steel 3. I played the what's the series before that? Trails in the Sky, right? Played that first game and liked it quite a bit. Tried to start the second one, and I don't know if it was just too slow at the beginning or what, but I could not get through it. Should I play just Trails of Cold Steel? Because a lot of people say, oh well, you'll miss some context, but I guess it's fine. But they say it like you're gonna be missing something in the experience playing Trails of Cold Steel without playing Trails in the Sky. Curious what your take is on that. Oh yeah, I want to change this back to Trembling Song. Actually, yeah, that's fine. What is this? Redirect 35% of incoming melee damage back to attackers for 5 seconds. It's kind of interesting. For the first 5 seconds, gain an additional 60% increased armor. Oh, so 5 out of the 120 seconds you get 60% armor instead of 20%. That's kind of a weird rune. Doesn't seem that advantageous. Just stick with Definite Crash. Anything new there? No. So that's it. Follower, she has a new skill. A 40-yard aura that increases attack speed for you and the Enchantress by 3%. That's nice. Lob a bulb of magical energy that hexes enemies in an area into chickens for 5 seconds. Stick focused mind.
So long for that.
Okay, did that give me a rift key? No, you must not get rift keys until you're level 70 or something. Let's just hit up one more Nephilim rift here.
Are you strong enough to survive the trials?
Oh, so you actually didn't play them at all. That's cool. I really should check them out. It is very intimidating, even without the Trails in the Sky games, it's a very intimidating series. The series is very intimidating at this point. Because there is already 3 games that are, from what I understand, 60 to 100 hours long. And there's a 4th one coming out. But I don't know, I hear nothing but praise for them. You know, I don't think I've ever heard somebody be like, yeah, I tried them and I didn't really like it. I don't think I've ever heard that once. So I know I would love them. But I also know I would love Persona 5. I've bought it twice and have not started it because it is 100 hours. And making the time for that is very hard.
The ancients smile on me.
Frenzy! He looks so silly doing the frenzy as This big Asura demon thing. Two games in the Sky trilogy that never got localized? Really? That I didn't know. In the Cold Steel games. There's Cold Steel games that haven't been localized? Are they just like on their way still? Like Cold Steel 4 I think is already out in Japan, right? Or is it like literally they just skipped over like side entries or something? That's weird. Whiffing shots. Whiffing everything. Fury. Yeah, where is the Sky Trilogy even available now? Is it just PSP and by extension Vita? I think that's where I played the first one. That. Yeah, Persona 5 does. I don't know, like 100 plus hours is just, it's just a lot to ask, which is weird because there are games that I play for 100 plus hours. Origins, Assassin's Creed Origins, I spent 105 hours on. I'm sure I'm gonna go over 100 on Odyssey. But if I wanted to mainline those games, it's probably like 40 to 50, you know? The fact that Persona 5, there's no way to be like, I don't feel like doing the side content. Not that you would ever do that anyway, that's a big part of the enjoyment in that game. But the fact that there's no option to be like, okay, I've been playing this game for 70 hours already, I'm gonna skip all the side content at this point and just finish the freaking game. You have to do that 100 plus hours, that's what's really, really hard to commit to. Because like in Odyssey, I'm at 60 hours. If I was bored of playing it, and first of all I could just stop playing it, I guess, but also I could just be like, okay, I'm just gonna mainline the story, and I probably have like 15 hours left or something. It's a very different experience. Oh, Trails in the Sky is available on Steam. That's cool. Does Trails of Cold Steel do what Trails in the Sky does, where your characters and their levels and their skills and stuff carry over? Because I think that may be a part of what kind of turned me off about Trails of Cold Steel 2. As cool as it is to like transfer a character through to the second game with their stats and everything, it kind of felt like I was jumping into a very long end game of an RPG as opposed to starting a new one, and I really like that ramp up that RPGs have of starting off very easy and simple and then getting complex and hard. And Trails in the Sky 2 felt very complex immediately because it picks up like literally as if it was halfway through a game. Oh, 4 times speed on battles, you say? That is awesome. I love that in all the like Final Fantasy remakes and stuff. Final Fantasy 12 and 10 are the only remakes that I've replayed with the extra speed, but it is a godsend. I think 10 had the 3 times speed, didn't it? I know 12 did, because I remember those silly janky animations when you're running at 3 times speed. But yeah, that should just be in every turn-based RPG at this point, the option to turn on higher speed, unless it's something like a Paper Mario where you have to push a button to block something. If it's just selecting commands and then watching your character, there's no reason why that game, any game, should not have a speed up battles button. Not been localized. They came with the Sky Trilogy. Huh. That's interesting. It doesn't feel like you're missing a chunk of the story or anything when you play them, though, with those games that didn't get localized. Oh. Legendary armor. Oh, that is so much better. Well above 95% primary resource. Primary resource. That's just Fury, I guess. Okay, yeah, it's different for every class. All damage taken is reduced by 50%. And plus 10% earthquake damage. That's pretty sweet. Oh, I forgot to do gems. Whoops. While I was in town. May as well go through all this crap real quick. Lots of junk. That looks good. Oh, I don't want to get rid of that legendary stat, though. Okay. You do miss a ton of story? Ugh. That kind of sucks. Treasure. No, bad goblin. You don't get to leave. Oh my god, I didn't even realize they were turning into even smaller ones. This is ridiculous. Come back, goblins. Okay, the goblins got away. Oh, no wait, they didn't yet. Oh, the one up there got away. Damn. All the games are like Marvel movies leading up to Avengers Endgame. With Cold Steel 4 will be like Infinity War, and the new game that's in the works will be like Endgame. Interesting. So, Cold Steel 1 and 2, you said are like sequential. But Cold Steel 3 is like a different story, and those stories are coming together. And the games that we didn't get in the States are also like Cold Steel 3, another story. Or is it just these games that we didn't get that are like side stories coming together? After that very first Nephilim rift, I was going to change the difficulty up because I'm absolutely crushing everything. But I guess it's good since I keep looking at the chat anyway. But still 1 and 2 are about a single more.
Taste
It's always about an hour and a half into the stream that this chair starts getting very uncomfortable. I gotta pause it for a second. I haven't taken any hydration breaks here. Okay, that's a way better bracer. Oops, don't junk it. But I lose the extra Hammer of Ancients damage. But I feel like I gotta do it. Which means I should take off the Hammer of Ancients. Go back to Whirlwind. Pull enemies from up to 35 yards away towards you while whirlwinding. That's new. Didn't even know I had that. In from pretty far. Coastal 3 takes place a year and a half later. All the games are about war, but from different points of view. Yeah, man, I mean, I feel like I gotta play it. It's just a matter of finding that time. In the Sky Trilogy and the Crossball games, or Crossbell games, which are the games not localized, the Empire of Erebonia are bad guys, but you play as them in the Cold Steel games. Okay, so all of the Trails games, not just Cold Steel and not just Trails in the Sky, it's all like coming together. That's really interesting. Oh, I keep forgetting I switched to Whirlwind. It's really fascinating. I really feel like I should play those. Barbarian friends do not last very long. I wonder if there's a room that makes them last longer. That'd be nice. Come here. Oh, you have a weird barrier. I love freezing people when they jump in the air. That is a very cool idea. It makes it very sad that that other arc is missing. Just gonna spin around inside of this guy for a day. That's crazy. Is there anything else in games media that's like that, with so many disparate storylines come together? I mean, that'd be like if Final Fantasy brought a bunch of its universes together for... I mean, not quite the same, because I guess it would be like a Final Fantasy 12 and Tactics crossover because they're actually in the same world. Came together in a significant way. I can't think of another example where two different timelines, same series I guess technically because they're both Trails, but two different timelines told over the course of that series come together. That's a really interesting concept. Gundams. Now you're speaking my language. No, I'm actually not a big, like, Gundam person, mech person in general. But I mean, they're cool. Giant robot suits. Nothing not cool about that. My god, I just heal so quickly. I just saw I lost 40% of my health or something, and then I was instantly fully healed again. Something chasing me? Oh yeah, heal.
Not ready yet.
Oh baby. Just keep spinning, spinning, spinning. Classic spin to win strategies. According to the president of Falcom, the developers of the series, they are working on remaking the crossbow games and bringing them. Ooh. That's interesting. See, now, with you telling me all this, it actually makes me want to go back and play Trails in the Sky. Trails in the Sky 2. Even though I wasn't super into it. But maybe I will just watch like a compilation of the story or something. I remember really liking those characters. It's just such a weird feeling to kind of jump into the middle of an RPG, especially because I didn't play them immediately one after the other.
The Rift Guardian is here.
Oh, I should summon my Barbarian friends. Transform into Asuda. Spin all day, baby. Oh no, my friends are gone. Oh, you spin two? That's not fair. Ah, lady, you're getting other people involved in this fight. That's not fair. Now they're exploding. Come here.
More time.
Earthquake. Yeah, get out of here.
I need to go back.
I wasn't too fond of Estelle. That's the, like, main girl, right? I remember liking her a lot. I also played it, like, 6 years ago? Something like that? Maybe more? I think I was in college, so probably more than 6 years ago. Yeah, I don't know. I remember liking her story. Oh, wait. I don't want to deposit that. Although, it's a low level bracer. I don't know. I'll keep it because you can probably fold it into the kunai cube thing that I still don't know how you get. Oh wait, no, don't trash that. Lose attack speed, I lose life after kill and vitality. Raises damage a lot though. I'll try it. I'm not gonna trash my other one though. Keep it. That's trash. That all looks like trash. That looks good. It is good. Oh, don't unjunk that. Junk the other one. What is this? Oh, an enchanter. research item. Where's her? Okay, there we go. You can have that. The protagonist of Cold Steel is a way better character. My favorite video game protagonist of all time. Really? That's crazy, man. I gotta check those out. I gotta put them on my backlog list, if nothing else. Which, you know, is like 700 games long or whatever, but still. I definitely want to check those out. I think that's all I needed to check in here. Oh, rings. Okay, I can give her these rings, because I don't want them.
New goods today. Please
Let's
look.
salvage what I can. Then anything that I can't salvage, let's sell.
My family came.
I don't care, little girl. Let's put these bracers away. Keep that on me, because I might need to switch back to it. I think I can use that, right? Oh, I already have it. Never mind. Put that back away. Yeah, my backlog, oh man, it's so big. I'm actually on like a little mini vacation here right now, and it was 2 weeks long. I guess that's not a mini vacation, that's a pretty long vacation for me. But I was like, oh man, I'm gonna hit so much stuff in my backlog. All I did was play Assassin's Creed Odyssey, Diablo 3, and like a bunch of games with my family, like Golf with Your Friends. Did not dig into the backlog at all, except for Odyssey, which has been sitting there for a long time. Oh, I need to talk to this guy. Yeah, my backlog is a problem. Every once in a while, I get the sensation, like, I get super stressed out of nowhere. I'm like, oh my god, I have so many games that I should be playing right now. And I'm like watching YouTube videos or Twitch streams or something. But then I remember, oh yeah, they're just video games, you know? I love video games. I want to continue to love video games. Let's not get stressed out about the ones I'm not playing. Let's just play the ones that I want to play. Trying to get a little bit of that day and tack philosophy of, if I want to play a game, I want to play that game. So he doesn't have a backlog, which is still bullshit, but trying to live that life anyway. Did I level up or anything? No. Yeah, that's what Odyssey's doing to me right now, man. Taking a whole month. I guess it's only been 2 weeks so far, but like I'm 60 hours in and I can easily see myself hitting over 100 just on the main story, and I still have that Legacy of the First Blade, I think it's called, and then the Fate of Atlantis DLC to hit too. And Fate of Atlantis alone, from what I hear, is like a good 30 hours, which is insane. Ain't nobody got time for that, except I do. I will make time. Okay, so I'm gonna end the stream there. It's a little bit early, but I don't have time for a whole nother Nephilim Rift, and my booty hurts. So I'm gonna say goodnight, and hopefully tomorrow I'll be playing Paper Mario. I've enjoyed playing Diablo 3. I actually love Berserker more than I thought I would. Barbarian, whatever the hell he's called. But I'm really looking forward to getting into Color Splash, even though I hear pretty much nothing but bad things about that game. I'm really looking forward to checking it out before Origami King comes out, because hopefully Origami King gets back to basics and is really, really good. So thank you, everybody who joined me. Thank you, Commander Lionheart, for keeping me busy in the chat here. I appreciate it. And I will see you guys tomorrow, hopefully with Paper Mario Color Splash. Bye!